Hello students! Today is the final day in our 100-word challenge. I hope you've been enjoying it and learning a lot. Our theme for this last video is business vocabulary, one of the most requested topics by all of you. Now, there are thousands of business vocabulary words in English, and you can learn many more of them inside my Business English course. But for this short video, I'm going to go through the alphabet A to Z and teach you a business-related word starting with each letter. Make sure you download the free PDF guide to this lesson so you can review everything you're learning today. Click on the link in the video description to get that. Okay, our word starting with A is agenda. An agenda in the business world is a list of things to be discussed in a meeting. Every meeting should have an agenda to keep it organized and efficient. For B, we have budget. That is a plan for spending money or dividing it up among different areas. Companies have budgets, governments have budgets, and everyday people like you and me should have them too. For C, our word is compensation. This is what a business gives to its employees in exchange for their work. Compensation actually has multiple parts. There's the salary, which is the money, and then benefits, things like health insurance or opportunities for bonuses or company stock. For the letter D, we have deadline. That's the final date and time before which a project must be finished. In business, we typically call it a deadline, and in the academic world, we usually call it a due date. For E, we have this word, which is pronounced estimate when used as a verb and estimate when used as a noun. To estimate is to make an educated guess. For F, our word is franchise. If a business is successful, like let's say I open up an Espresso English school in my town, I can then expand my business by giving other people permission to open up their own schools using the Espresso English name, logo, and teaching method, and then they would pay me a certain percentage. So that's how Espresso English would become a franchise with multiple locations run by different people. Our G word is gross profit. If it costs me $20 to make a product and I sell it for $100, then my gross profit is $80. It's the difference between the cost to create it and the sales price, before considering other expenses like taxes, employees, storage space, etc. Now, if the other expenses cost an average of $30 per product, then I would end up with a net profit, a final profit of $50 per product. For H, we have human resources, or HR. This is the part of a company responsible for employees, training them, processing salary payments, resolving any conflicts, etc. I have a couple words for I. Inventory, which refers to a quantity of products a company has available or in storage, and invoice, which is a request or requirement for payment. So if someone creates some advertisements for me, they would then send me an invoice for their work, and I'd have to pay it. For J, we have joint venture. This is a collaboration between two people or two companies. They work together on the project. Our K term is KPI, which stands for Key Performance Indicator. This is a number that we can use to measure performance. It could be something like number of sales per month, or average speed for a website, or customer satisfaction rate. Something countable or measurable so that a business or a part of the business can understand if it's doing well or needs improvement. For L, we have the adjective lucrative. If something is lucrative, it means it generates lots of money. It is profitable. Our M word is maternity leave. This is time off given to women who have a baby. In some countries, maternity leave is required by law. Unfortunately, in the US, it's not. The letter N is for networking. In business, networking is making social connections with other people with the aim of helping or supporting each other in your careers. O is for outsource. To outsource a task or project means to give it to someone outside the company. Many places that make products outsource the manufacturing to countries or places where it's cheaper to make things. For P, we have prospective customer or prospective client. This is someone who is not yet a customer, but who has the potential to become one. Our Q word is quarter. This refers to a 3-month period, which is 1/4 or 1/4 of the year. Many businesses analyze things quarterly, meaning every quarter, every 3 months. For R, we have the verb recruit. This means to hire or try to hire people. Some law firms recruit students who are graduating from top law schools, so they approach the students and try to hire them. A common S word is scale. You might hear about a business scaling up, meaning growing, expanding, and serving more people. For T, our word is turnover. This refers to how often workers leave a company and need to be replaced. Companies want to keep turnover low so that workers stay for a longer time. For U, we have union, also called a labor union or a trade union. This is an association of employees that aims to improve things for workers, like better salaries, better working conditions, by negotiating with the employer. Our V term is venture capital. This refers to money available to invest in new companies, startup companies, that have a high potential for growth, but also a high potential for failure. The money can come from rich people or from banks. For W, we have wholesale. This is selling things in large quantities to other people who will then resell them individually. So maybe you have a factory that makes computers and it sells them wholesale to a store. So the store would buy like 10,000 computers and then sell them one by one to customers. I'm skipping the letter X because I couldn't find a good business word for it, but I have a couple abbreviations for Y. YTD, which stands for year to date, meaning from January 1st until now. And YOY stands for year over year. A business might grow 10% year over year, for example, meaning it's 10% bigger now than it was last year. And finally, Z is for zoning. This refers to the rules established by a city about what kind of buildings can be built in which areas. Some areas might be zoned residential, meaning you can only build houses there, not businesses or huge towers. Other areas might be zoned industrial, meaning you can build a factory there. Well, this brings us to the end of our Vocabulary Challenge Week. Thank you so much for joining me, but it doesn't end here. If you want to keep going, keep building and expanding your vocabulary, come join my Vocabulary Builder course. Each level of this course will teach you over 1,000 words in just 1 month. You will be amazed at how much it boosts your fluency. Check out my courses at espressoenglish.net.